What?
You get this only nowhere else but Kevin is after that. Kevin, I'm not gonna lie.
Now we're not look at this. A carved penguin. There it is.
Oh no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
It's so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birdfish.
How about that?
Birdfish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say?
We got to talk about it. We have to talk about it. No one's happy about it. I know. But we got to talk about it. Yeah, that sucks. That one sucks. Yeah, you look at the scoreboard, 6-0. Oh, they got blown out, whatever. That's not the story of the game. I mean, Scott Blewett absolutely just gave absolutely no fight at the end. Just threw the towel in there. But Trevor Rogers deserved everything. Deserves everything except the loss, which unfortunately he gets. This is where baseball, it's just stupid that they give out losses in this way, because it's like Trevor Rogers, 6 2/3 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 8 Ks on 99 pitches. He gets the loss with the 1 earned run, with the 1 run being the inherited runner that Gregory Soto allowed, where I think pretty much everyone and their mother in the Baltimore area understood that if you brought Gregory Soto in there, he wasn't getting Stowers out, and there was a good chance that the lead or the tie game was over. Did exactly that. Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in, 2 hits, 1 earned run. Scott Blewett comes in and blows it. 4 hits, 4 earned runs. Atta baby Scott. It's cleanup duty. You're going to lose. They were going to lose anyway. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if we're going to talk about people that didn't deserve what happened today, it's Trevor Rogers. Lowered his ERA to 1.53 on the season. Absolute gem. Absolute gem again. Continues to stack incredibly impressive starts. Love it. Love it. Trevor Rogers gave you everything that you were supposed to get today. The offense. 6 hits. But let's be honest, it was inconsistent timing. It wasn't getting the hits when they needed. Holiday 1 for 4, Westbrook 0 for 4, Gunnar 2 for 4, which is nice. O'Hearn 1 for 3. That one, obviously, then Gunnar got thrown out at home. Laureano comes up the next inning. 1 for 4. He gets that hit then. Cowser 1 for 3. Tyler O'Neill participated in today's game. He has gotten his batting average to 176. That's cool. Good for him. $50 million. Just toss it away at the moment. I guess that's cool. Cedric Wellens 0 for 3. Jacob Stallings. Man the 9 spot. Jacob Stallings, Ramon Rios. 0 for 3 combined. It was bad. I've said this before. I can't guarantee you much in life. I can't. I'm not going to guarantee you happiness. I'm not going to guarantee success. I can't guarantee really anything. But there's one thing I can absolutely guarantee you without hesitation. I can guarantee it 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. You will never win a baseball game with 0 runs. It's impossible. So yes, we can sit here and talk about the bullpen imploding. Yeah, that's without a doubt. It's 2-0 going into the 8th. I'm going to count Scott Blewett's 4 runs as that's Scott Blewett in mop-up duty just got hit. Like, he wouldn't have been pitching if it was a tie game if the Orioles had the lead. That wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been pitching in the 9th. So, yeah, Trevor Rogers, the bullpen let him down, but so did the offense. Like, let's get that straight. The offense, what were they with runners in scoring position today? 1 for 6 with Tyler O'Neill being 0 for 2, Ryan O'Hearn being 1 for 2. That one obviously ended up with the Gunnar thrown out at home. Mullins 0 for 2. So really only 3 guys each got 2 opportunities. O'Hearn gets the 1 hit, doesn't end up with any runs. Just while I'm here and looking at it, Colton Cowser 2 stolen bases. Very nice. Very nice. You know. And I know, nice send by Buck Britton. We sit here and we talk about how aggressive Buck Britton is, and we're going to praise him when it works out. If that ball kicks away from the catcher or whatever, then people are like, what a send, put pressure on the defense, all that. This comes with the territory. I'd rather him be aggressive than conservative. Yeah. Do I wish he didn't send him? Yeah, but hindsight's 20/20. I agree. I think at this point, that's who Buck Britton is. He just he's going to send guys and he's going to be aggressive. He was out by 5 seconds. He was gunned. It was not even close. But that's kind of what Buck Britton's forte has been, is he's sending guys, he's putting pressure, he's making guys make good throws. Guy airmails it, throws it away, then we're sitting here going, Buck Britton, great send. Like, we have a few times where guys, let's be honest, should have been gunned by 10, 15 feet, but bad throws, unforced errors, get the guy safe. So, yeah, bad send. I'll say it. Shouldn't send him there, but I'm not going to be upset about it. It's his forte. It's what we've praised him for being aggressive, so I'm not going to say, reel it in. I'd rather have to be like, hey, it's not send on the stupid ones than be like, hey, we got to start sending it, Yeah, and this thing, if he scores there, you go up 1-0 in this game, I think it goes a completely different way. I agree. So, it's just a disappointing game all around. You felt like the Orioles had plenty of opportunities to get things to have this game go their way. I mean, 6 chances with runners in scoring position. Obviously, that send. They then get Cowser on second in the 7th with 1 out. O'Neill and Mullins both. Tyler O'Neill loves a pop-up right now, I'll tell you that. He loves a pop-up. It's just, this is... I would love to know. What? I'm looking up Tyler O'Neill's percentages because I'm just curious right now. Yeah, so his expected batting average is 207, average exit velo is 87.5. I mean, that's just everything. I know he's hurt. Everything is down. Everything is down, and significantly down. He's got 314 slugging. He has a 5.85 OPS in 102 at bats. 118 plate appearances. That's not going to cut it. Kyle, yeah, Tyler O'Neill's probably already texted Mike Elias to remind him that he's picking up that option. I think he is. He texts him probably daily, like, "Hey, dude, appreciate the money, dude. I'll be back next year." Probably does it while he's hitting bicep curls because you know what? At least he looks strong, I guess. Tyler O'Neill, I'm not going to – I know some people are completely giving up on him. I've seen this guy go through streaks where he's – like, let's be honest. They're going to need him. Like, they need him. Like, if the Orioles are going to make any sort of run, we can sit here and be like, hey, we can do this. You know, oh, these guys need something. Tyler O'Neill needs to step up because he's going to be playing. They're paying him to play. He's going to be playing. So, unfortunately, you need him to step up, and you need him to go on one of his – I think he is very similar to Gary Sanchez in this, I guess, way. They are as streaky as it gets. Tyler O'Neill might, in the next – when we come out of the All-Star break, he might hit a home run, and it carries him to hit 4 home runs in 6 games. You know, it might carry him to he has 10 RBIs over a 4-game set, and then suddenly we're all like, Tyler O'Neill saved that series. It's going to happen. You need it to happen. Like, you're going to need that to happen. He is one of those guys. He's kind of like a Santander. And remember, when Tony was cold, it was bad. That's actually fine. Steven, same thought. Yeah, kind of like Santander. When Santander, it was tough. Like, it was tough. When he was bad, it was bad. But when he's on, he's locked in. He's one of the best power hitters in the game. They're going to need him to step up, though. They're going to need him to – and I'm not even talking about step up like, oh, you need to get back to hitting 280, you know what. Give me – just hit like you did in 23. Give me a 231. I'll take 231 at this point. Like – that's what I need. You're going to need if this team's going to go make any sort of run to get back into competency. That's not a word. It's not competency, but like competitiveness. Get back into. If you want to find yourself in the race at the end, they're going to need him. They're going to simply need him, and I tweeted it out a few minutes ago. I'm over today. We're on to tomorrow because today it's hard to sweep teams. Is it annoying because this team had it tied 0-0 with your guy going 6 2/3? Yeah, but you should win that game. You should win that game every single time. This team's got me upset drinking a LaCroix. It's really like drinking a sad LaCroix is just not fun. That's what the Orioles have me doing. I'm drinking a sad LaCroix right now. It's sad. It is because you felt like, man, if this team could find a way to win today, find a way to win tomorrow, then you are feeling it. You go into the break 5 games under. Now we're back to hoping that you can get to 7 games again. And listen, I tweeted out 7 games under at the break is not anything to scoff at. It is not anything to be like, oh, geez. They were in 18 games below 500 less than 2 months ago. They're making progress. If you would have told us, and I'll just bring him on for this, Kevin Ostraker. Kevin, just very, very, very disappointing game, but I wanted to bring you on for this. If you can win tomorrow, yes, it's disappointing that you're only 7 games under, because it's like, damn, you had an opportunity to go 5. You're going to look at that Mets game. You're like, man, we could even be 3. Yeah. But on May 24th, let's be honest, when they were 18 games under, you would have told us, hey, they're going to get to 7 under by the All-Star break. We'd be like, okay. Okay, is it ideal? No. Is it the position we were hoping they'd be in about 3 weeks ago when they really started to kind of show some life? No, we were hoping by this point that maybe they were closer to that 3-4 range. But they're making progress. They still just have to figure something out. They have to win tomorrow. Tomorrow, I like how, don't know if you saw it, Kevin on Twitter, Barstool RDT put it perfectly. You can decide, is tomorrow a must win or is it a can't lose? It's up to you to decide, but it is definitely one of the two.
Yeah, it's one of the two, and you're right. Like I think heading into the break 9 under after we've seen them string together some better baseball would be pretty disappointing. And the difference between 7 and 9 in the grand scheme of things is that too big of a difference? No, but when you are in the hole that you're in, if you're the Orioles, it is a pretty decent difference. And I think we all know, Zach, the schedule they have coming up in August. It is going to be brutal. It's a brutal schedule. You're not at home a lot, and you're going to have to string together some wins there. So how can you put yourself in a better situation heading into a brutal month? You win games before that brutal month and put yourself in a better spot. And so, yeah, it's tough because it would have felt really awesome to get to 5 under if you're Baltimore here. This is a game they should have won. If we're being honest, I thought some pretty bad decisions by Tony Mansolino throughout the game here, particularly not letting Rogers pitch to Stowers. I don't know if you've gone over that already, but
no, actually, we haven't gone over that. So we can, if we want to talk about that, we can talk about that.
Well, yeah, let's start with that. What are your thoughts on that? Because I disagreed with it wholeheartedly.
Oh my gosh! And I think it was Banks tweeted it out, and I couldn't agree with him more. It's like that's such a small, like you that decision is just one of the examples of where it's like, what do you mean like you're following analytics, like, oh, bring in this hard throwing lefties. This is Trevor Rogers, a lefty, facing Kyle Stowers, a lefty. Okay, so you're not gaining any advantage bringing in another lefty. Oh, okay, so there's that. I don't know where that, maybe goes analytically. But now let's bring in the human element, Kevin. Let's bring in the human element. Trevor Rogers, 6 2/3, 2 hits, zero runs at the time. Facing the guy with an opportunity to now go 7 shutout innings, giving your team even a better chance to win, has the opportunity to get out the guy he was traded for. So you're telling me that Trevor Rogers didn't want that at bat? That Trevor Rogers didn't see Manzolino walking out and like, are you like, I'm going to be honest. If it was a righty batting and they had to go to Sir Anthony Dominguez, then I'm a little bit more like, okay, they were playing way too into the analytics. Let's do this. If it was Rogers versus Norby, the righty, I'd be like, okay, they were going analytics, still disagree with it, but they were going analytics. I don't see how they went analytics here with any of it. Like, it's still lefty with Rogers, and also the human element of Rogers wants that. He wants to finish 7 shutout innings, and he wants to get Kyle Stowers out. Like, that means something to him. It's just, it was one of those things that I'm going to call it this, and then I'll get past it because he Brandon Hyde it. He overthought it.
I mean,
he just completely overthought it. That was one of the. That's the first decision in a long time that Manzolino's made that I'm like, oh, that's a Brandon Hyde decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you're spot on with that, and I see the comment here from Dog Training Plus is like, that's not what Manzolino has usually done, and you said it right there. It's like it's very off-brand for like. It's been very different from Brandon Hyde, where he will let the guy stay in. He will play a guy continuously. And I think, honestly, with the whole Mayo thing and this, I feel like we've kind of gotten back to a little bit of Brandon Hyde-isms, if you want to call them that, right? It's people in football, you got the Tomlin-isms, which is how, he does interviews and he has his little metaphors and stuff. I call Brandon Hyde-isms the things that Brandon Hyde liked to do. That's my definition of it. And, Kobe's a different conversation, but, Kobe finished out June like on fire, and he's barely played in July. And in this, like, that's different from what the messaging was from Manzolino. It was like, hey, we're going to play our guys. Consistency is great. It's been different there. And I think that Tyler O'Neill coming back on us, he screwed that whole situation up. But regardless, that's a different conversation. With Trevor Rogers, it is very different. And you're right. It's not like Trevor Rogers was like teetering on 110 pitches and had like giving up 5 runs and was not feeling himself, and the Orioles. No, this guy was shoving. The Marlins couldn't touch him. Where's that comment? I saw another comment about yeah, here, Adam, look at it this way. Are the Marlins going to be upset or happy if you pull Rogers for Stowers? The Marlins were thrilled because they couldn't touch Trevor Rogers. They wanted to see anybody else but Trevor Rogers. Why would you give yourself that disadvantage? And then, Mancelino, the whole thing about, Soto's throwing the ball well. We like, this, that. Was Trevor Rogers not throwing the ball well? I don't get it. I mean, and then it's, you got to save him. I mean, guess what's coming up, Zach? The All-Star break. Guess what the All-Star break is an opportunity for? Rest and reset. It's not like Trevor Rogers had to pitch in 5 days again where, you're going to figure out, oh, man, like you're on a regular MLB schedule. You have a break coming up. So I thought it was a major mistake. The Marlins made him pay for it. And obviously they broke the game open later. And, it ended up, I guess, not really mattering at the end of the day. But I feel like that they had momentum. And yes, the offense was terrible all day. But, you can't like we've seen over the past handful of games where the Orioles will be down, they get down 1-0 against the Mets, and in that 8th inning, they're able to storm back. Gunnar comes up, hits the pinch hit 2-run homer. I mean, this team has showed some of that cardiac comeback kid. They've showed that mojo, but that has come with momentum staying even keeled. Where yes, they're down, but there's not been a thing that's like, oh, that's bad. That's what's going to derail this game. Today, that decision to me is what derailed the game and allowed, I think, the Marlins to gain confidence back in their offense, which I think later in the game led to what we saw by the bullpen and the Marlins offense beating up on them.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to go with if Soto comes in and strikes Stowers out, that's one thing. Soto came in and his first 2 pitches, he tried to throw the first one to the backstop and then hit Stowers with the next one. So clearly didn't have control. But if Trevor Rogers goes out there, I'm not going to say I guarantee they win. But, Kevin, like you said, if Trevor Rogers gets that out there, 7 shutout, the Marlins don't have that kind of confidence going into the 8th against Sir Anthony. Like, it did feel like it just – and then I said, I'm going to consider this a 2-0. This was 2-0 going into the 9th. Because I'll say this, and I said before you hopped on, Scott Bluett's not pitching. Like, his 4 runs, like that was garbage time. That was, okay, whatever. Game's over now after you gave those up. He's not pitching in the 9th if it's 2-2, if you're up 4-2, whatever. So it's on the offense for not scoring more. But also, if it's 0-0 in the 7th, at the end of 7, now all of a sudden you can put Sir Anthony in to face the next guys. I don't think he gives up, another run if they don't have that sort of confidence of, we're now just stacking runs on. And I think it's a completely different I do think it changes a lot. I genuinely do. I think it changes a lot about it.
Yeah, I remember so often early in the year, we were talking about the moments that turned the game upside down. And it feels like we've had a lot less of that. It's been very refreshing to have a lot less of that. But, this was another thing here. And again, momentum is such a fickle thing and in both directions, positively and negatively. And I agree. It's like, I think this is a lot different of a ball game because I have all the confidence in the world in Trevor Rogers to get out Kyle Stowers based off of how he has pitched and how he was pitching in that game. I didn't see a justifiable reason to take him out. I know the Orioles are going to spin it however it was, but if you give the truth serum to Tony Mancelino, I think he'd tell you that was a pretty big mistake.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like whether or not he'll admit it on camera, all that stuff. Like, it's one thing. I think he knows. Like, I think that's one of those they overthought it. He overthought it. It's one of those where you can overmanage. It's where just let your guy go. Let him go. Let him just go out there and try to finish this inning. And, I saw the comments earlier, and Kevin, you brought up as well. What's shocking is this is not what Manzolino's been doing. It's one thing, like if Hyde did this, everyone's like, classic Brandon Hyde. Yep, here we go. Taking the guy out. Manzolino, if anything, has sometimes kept guys in a little too long. Like he is very big on, hey, this is your game. Go finish it. Hey, this is your inning. This is your batter. Go finish it. And I think that's what made it sting a little more is you're like, Tony, why'd you go away from what was working? Like Trevor Rogers is dealing. The guys are getting momentum. And then after that, we can we can harp on the decision all day long. It sucks. But, Kevin, it's like I said right before you hopped on, I can only make a few guarantees in life. I can't make many, but one I can is you will never win a baseball game with 0 runs. So the offense is also massively to blame. So, it sucks because one person showed up, and it was Trevor Rogers, and it felt like, I'll give Gunnar at 2 hits. I'm not saying everyone in the offense is to blame, but 1 for 6 runners in scoring position. You can't even score on the 1 hit you get. And then you score 0 runs. I mean, it's a lot to blame all around.
Yep. Can't do it. And, you look at this offense is honestly like they've been better. And again, what's the bar for better at the beginning of the year? It's on the floor. So I would hope they'd be better. But you look at their runs or their run outputs recently, and it is kind of like that hit or miss ish type deal for them where, even dating back, like let's start at the Texas series where, they start off with 10, then they go 2 and they go 2 and then they have none. And then they have 3, then you get like 9. So again, like the output is there at times and you're back to 2, 6, 3, 7. So it's like, they are really good in spots. It feels like when they are on, like, boom, you can't stop them. They're hitting homers. They're hitting balls out. Like they're doing a lot, but there's still that inconsistency factor of sometimes there will be games like this. And it's a lot more than you would like it to be. And, it's the unfortunate part of it. And I know that everybody's talking about Gunnar this year. I mean, look, Zach, we can both admit it. Gunnar Henderson has not been good this year relative to Gunnar Henderson expectations. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. He's had a down year. He's not been good. And, in a game, and I say this in a game where he went 2 for 4, but I'm just saying, like, isn't he still at 20? Is it 31 RBIs now?
31. If you would have told us, let's be honest, if you would have told us game left before the All-Star break, but going into the All-Star break, Gunnar has 11 home runs and 31 RBIs. You're kind of like, it's 31 RBIs. Like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, that's where – because, listen, it's a down season for Gunnar. It's still a decent season, 279, 11 homers.
Right. It's not a bad season.
But
based off of what you expect from Gunnar.
Yeah, relative to what you expect from him, it's not the Gunnar Henderson that you've really come to expect. It's – his OPS is now below 800. Technically, it's 799, but it is, it's not the Gunnar. It's a good ball player, but Gunnar Henderson, last year was MVP talks. And so for him to go from MVP talks to having a good season, that's disappointing. It's one thing if another guy was doing this, if, hell, I'll even say like if a Cows or if a Westberg was doing this, you're like, all right, you're
it's a decent
happy. Yeah. But, you're expecting MVP numbers from Gunnar this year.
I have a question for you. What is your assessment of Jackson Holliday recently?
It's definitely been tougher, but I mean, I still am happy with Jackson. I think Jackson Holliday is having an incredible year for what he's like.
I think it's been a good year for him. I just think that people look at the inconsistencies and are like, yeah, he's like
20. He's 21.
21 years old. I mean, the goal for Jackson this year was to be a producer and show growth and work through struggles. And I think he's done all that this year. I mean, it hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been like, oh, he's hitting 300 and, 350 with runners. No, it hasn't been that year for him, but I wasn't expecting it to be. I mean, the expectations on Jackson were sky high. I mean, coming into the league, they were higher than Gunnar and Adley, in my opinion. I mean, the fanfare that he got coming up was just unbelievable. And I think, he struggled, got sent down, got sent back up, responded well. And I think, again, like, you see the potential, the 4-for-4 game against Atlanta, like, you have that potential there. But I'm not going to rip too much into a 21-year-old, even if, sometimes he'll go through slumps. Because guess what, Zach? We know this. Everybody goes through slumps. Everybody has those moments. Yep. I get it's frustrating when a team isn't playing well. I understand. But I've seen some Jackson Holliday slander on the timelines. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Because I think that we should be giving Jackson some grace here. Again, the whole team has been disappointing in terms of the overall output. But I think Jackson, for a lot of times, has been one of the bright spots.
Yeah, he has been, and it's been big moments he's come up in. It feels like, listen, he's 21 years old. I'll say this: the guy who was supposed to be the first overall pick, Drew Jones, when Jackson was taken, I think people forget that Holiday was not the. Drew Jones is currently in high A.
High A, yeah.
High A, currently batting .248 with 2 home runs and 35 RBIs in 82 games this year. So, yes, you can talk about Jackson Holiday like, oh, he's maybe a little inconsistent at times, all that. He's a 21-year-old still playing in the majors and doing pretty damn well, especially compared to some other people that were supposed to go number one in that year in front of him. So, you say what you want. I know it's the inconsistency, but I agree, Kevin. I think this is – we're seeing what Jackson can be, and that's what I'm excited for.
Yep, for sure. For sure. All right, you want to get to some call-ins here?
Yep, I was just going to say, just posted the link.
Let's get the timer. I feel like last night's timer was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Although I can't hear what it sounds like.
On you. That's on you, Kevin.
Oh, they have classic? Wait, they have some classic ones here.
Well, no, I assume the classic is
oh, wait. Oh, wait.
That's just
the car word. It's a robot. Oh, that's sonar. Time passing. Okay. Oh, we can do a doorbell. This is a regular doorbell. Oh, the boing.
Boing.
All right, let's do the boing. That's funny. Let's do the boing.
Boing.
All right, let's get it. I'm ready.
Awesome. And real fast before we get into calls, if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Live after every single Orioles game, win or lose. And also, I do just want to point out, Hunter Dobbins, the pitcher for the Red Sox, season's over with a torn ACL. Every time I see a baseball player with a torn ACL or Achilles, I'm like, I forget that can happen here. Like, I feel like in basketball and football, that's like a weekly occurrence, obviously. Right. And then in baseball, like it would be like if randomly, like when Brock Purdy had to get Tommy John surgery and everyone was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird here. Like, it's just one of those. But let's head into our first call, and we got Gordon behind the scenes. I think Gordon may have.
Gordon. Oh, is he not?
I think we may have lost Gordon for a second. All right, well, we are going to.
Okay, we'll circle back. We'll circle back.
We'll circle back to Gordon. Let's go to our next one. We got Danny behind the scenes. Danny, how we doing?
What's going on, Danny?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I didn't watch the game because I'm still watching wrestling. Currently.
All right.
Oh, you know what? It went better than the Oriole game. I'll give you that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I kept up with it while I'm watching this. I was like, okay, I'm like, Trevor Rogers is killing it, of course, as he's been. And then, and then the offense can't score runs, and the pitching late. Yeah. Not great.
Classic early season Orioles game.
Oh yeah, dude. So again, I disagree with pulling Rogers when they did. Like, I would have at least tried to allow him to get out of that inning because the dude is pitching so well.
Yeah.
I agree. Especially with, the moment, everything that was going on. I don't think you're alone. I think, it was one of those things where pretty much everyone's like, you should not pull Rogers in that situation.
Yeah, dude. That's something that I don't agree with him. Like, dude, hey, man, if the dude gives up a run, he gives up a run. And, of course, the sucks is he got pulled, and then, of course, he still technically he gave up a run.
Which is so oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
That's one of those things. It's so annoying.
It's baseball. But I'm like, I'd rather him because of how well he's pitching. Like, dude, if he gives up a run, dude, who cares? Like, I'm like, the dude pitched a gem. And I honestly, I would be less mad him stay in there and if he gave up a run or two, just knowing of how well he's pitched. I'm like, dude, even if he gave up 2 runs, I'd be like, cool, who cares? Like, the offense tend to jack jack shit today for him. So like again, like
Yeah.
I would have been pissed, but
I completely agree, Danny. I'll say if they keep Trevor Rogers in and he gives up a 2-run homer to Stowers, I'm like, damn, Stowers got him. Like,
yeah,
but I'd rather do that than sit here and then you bring in another lefty to face Stowers. He hits him, and now it's just a lefty-righty matchup anyway.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah.
I'd rather go down with the ship, go down with the guy who's been an
Me
ace
too.
for you over the past few, and especially pitching like one that day. It's not like Trevor Rogers was walking a bunch of guys, and it's one of those, sometimes
You
guy
walk
goes
2 guys,
6
right?
innings. Yeah. It wasn't like he was wildly inconsistent. It wasn't like you were sitting there going, damn, Trevor doesn't have it today, but he's finding a way. He looked good. Like after the first inning, he looked great.
Yeah. And the first inning, it wasn't even his fault. Like, it was an error. Like, it wasn't even his fault. Like, so the error allowed him to pitch more. He got out of it, and then he was owning them for the rest of this game. So, hey, man, I'm still happy for him because of that dude is proving all of us wrong, and I love it. And but Mr. O'Neill, dude, he sucks. He sucks.
It's getting tough.
It's bad. Tough. I'm saying, like, for the amount of money that we're paying him, it's bad. It's bad. And I just hope now, hopefully going into the offseason, that, like, we get healthier. We could potentially add another arm, potentially even 2. Imagine, you have Bradish, you have Rogers. Hopefully Grayson can stay healthy. And you add a guy like a Michael King, a Dylan Cease, Valdez, guys like that. You bring in or heck, trade for a guy. I don't care, but like you bring in a guy and you team him with Kyle Bradish and Rogers the way he's pitching, and you have Grayson back. Dean hopefully gets better. Povich hopefully continues to get better. I'm like, this staff next year can be great.
Yeah,
and
it can be really good.
Yeah, and like again, like I mean, Trevor Rogers. I feel like if he continues to pitch this way, next year is his contract year. Like, give him a contract.
Yeah,
I mean, like the way he's pitching right now, and I'm not saying like every game is going to be like this, but like the dude is pitching his ass off, and I feel like if he continues, I mean, like if he has at the end of the year a 3 ERA, I think all of us are going to be thrilled.
Yeah,
I mean, he has like a 1.4 ERA right now. It's nuts.
Yeah,
and the dude's killing it, and I'm like, it would not be a bad idea to give him a contract, and you probably still won't have to pay him a ton of money.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those things where the way he's playing right now, I don't want to say low risk, but I don't think, like you said, I don't think you're paying him what you might have to pay others, where you might have to pay a top end guy. Maybe you get him for, $15 million a year, someone. And then if you do that and he continues to, he has a 1.52 ERA right now. I don't know if I'm not going to say he's a 1.52 ERA guy, but like you said, if you can hover at a 3, just double that ERA. You hover at 3, 3.5, 3.2. It's all you need. So that's where I sit with it. But Danny, appreciate you calling in, my man. Enjoy wrestling more than the Oriole game.
Yeah, right. I know, dude. Like this show has been going on since 3, and it's still going. And they still have 2 matches left. This show is long, but it's good so far. So I'm enjoying it.
Love it.
Love it, Danny. Enjoy your
Appreciate
Saturday,
you,
my
Danny.
man. We'll
See
talk
you
later.
All right.
Awesome. And real fast, I did see Trevor Rogers talked about getting a standing ovation today and just said how much it meant to him. And he did even say, he's like, yeah, the fans were kind of tough on me last year, but I knew it was because like I even wasn't performing the way I knew I could. So love seeing that. Trevor Rogers deserved a win today. It just sucks, didn't it? It just really sucks. But let's move on. Next up, we got our guy Jason behind the scenes. Jason, what's up, my man?
What's going on, Jason?
Oh man, frustrating game. Here's my thoughts. I really was disappointed Manzo pulled Rogers. I feel like in that situation, he pitched his ass off. He earned the right to lose that game. You know what I'm saying? Like if anybody's going to lose that game, it should be him.
Yep.
So even if Stowers gives up a hit, I don't care. It's the right move to leave him in because you leave him in, he's earned that right. That's the way I look at it. I think if he leaves him in, he gets Stowers. He had pitched outstanding all game. Then if you look at that, the game's completely different. I think you see Dominguez in the 8th and Batista in the 9th. At most, I think you're down 1-0. That's a completely different animal than 2-0 or 6-0. It's one swing. So that was very disappointing, very frustrating as I watched it because I knew you're going from a left-hander that's pitched his ass off to a left-hander that's consistently been bad pitching to the first guy he's pitched to. Mm-hmm. And he comes in and he's all over the place. And, he hits, did he hit somebody, Stowers?
Yeah. First, and then he gives up it's Stowers.
Then he gives up the hit. I mean, it's very frustrating, but man, I can't say enough about Trevor Rogers and what he's done. He's been outstanding since coming back. They did a great job with him, with the pitching mechanics and everything that they've done. And then as far as the hitting goes, I went back and looked. They swung at 8 first pitches in this game. They were 1 for 8. It's just you're not making them work hard enough. They didn't do anything with any of those 8 first pitch swings. There was the one to O'Neill that was right down the middle on 3-0, and he pops it up. I mean, you've got to make something happen. He's got to be better for this team going forward. And just my last thought is they've got to win tomorrow. If Young doesn't have it, get him out and go to somebody else because tomorrow is probably the biggest game of the year. You cannot go down 9 games.
Completely agree.
Momentum going to the All-Star break is so huge. So huge.
Yeah. And then you get a break, and then you can line your pitching up. And then, let's go with – I mean, we haven't been – I think we've been 3 games under against 500 teams, so that's not horrible. It's better than our overall record. So, as far as, we're, 8 under now? So we've been worse against bad teams, honestly. So let's attack this thing in the second half, but we got to get it tomorrow. We got to get that win. Get back on the right track and win this series. But they've been good versus the National League the last 3 series. If they can get the win tomorrow, that'll be 3 series wins in a row after not winning 1 to start the year. So those are my thoughts, guys. What do you think?
Kevin, you want?
I'll go. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, look, I think that the difference between 7 games and 9 games under is huge, and I think that for this Orioles team, it could, I'm not saying one game will determine whether they're buyers or sellers or whatever, but I think that it sets a tone for them because that your August is going to be tough. And I think right now, a lot of us think that, what do they do? Because I think everybody was just expecting early in the season, they're going to hover around 14, 15, 13 games under. It's going to be obvious what they're about to do. But if they get to 7 under before the All-Star break, then they can rattle off a couple after that. It really puts Mike Elias in the situation of man, what do you do? And so, look, crazy things happen in baseball, crazy things happen in sports, but, I don't want them to get back into that, they're 12, 11, 10, 9 under 500 because
they can't afford to.
Yeah, it feels like that's where they've been hovering, and I want them to finally, put that in the rear view if they're going to make a run and get to that, 7, 6, 5, continue to make progress in that regard. That's where I am.
Yeah, Kevin, I mean, I agree with both of you. It's one of those things, originally with, Stowers and Rogers saying, you have to keep him in there. And then, tomorrow is the biggest game of the season. And Kevin, how many times have we talked about the downside about being 18 games under at some point is this team's been playing must-win games, playoff-esque games since middle of June. And tomorrow's no different. You have to approach it with the All-Star game coming up. It is all hands on deck. It is. I agree, Jason. If Brandon Young doesn't have it early on. He gives up 2 runs in the first 3, and he gets the first 2 on in the next inning. You got to move on. Tomorrow is a playoff game type where you have to manage it like it's a playoff game. Guy doesn't have it. We're moving to our bullpen. What are we resting guys for the next few days? You don't got a game for 4 more days. So get guys ready, and it should be known in the clubhouse tomorrow, especially in the pitching staff, of, hey, be ready, because people's numbers will be called quick if need be, because we have to win this game. Because the difference between going into this thing 7 and 9 games is massive, is absolutely massive.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say is after that Met debacle, I went back and looked through the whole season to see how many games that they really should have probably won that they had lost. And there was 5 games where they had the lead after 7 innings and lost. And then the 8-0 game. So I counted that. So 6 games that I felt like they really should have won. If they win 4 of those games, it's a totally different. I mean, we're in a totally different situation. You're right at 500 now. Yeah, you're right at it. So, I mean, everything is razor thin now. You can't blow games. You can't lose games. You should win. The offense really has to be more consistent the second half of the season. You can't have any, length of period of time where you played like they did the first, 10 weeks of the season.
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
you can't. They've been playing like just over 600 ball since May 24th, and unfortunately, they have the 4th best record in baseball since then. But because of the situation you put yourself in, you can't let up. You have to keep going. Like, there is we played a great stretch of a month and a half of 600 ball. Well, you played a very long time of about 300 ball. So now what you have to do is you got to make up for that. So they have to play 6 to 700 ball the rest of the way. There can't be 500. You play 500 ball the rest of the way, you finish the year 8 under. So that's not, a possibility. That's not an option. They got to go. They have to win. And, yeah, it starts with tomorrow. It does. Tomorrow's a must-win.
Yep.
And then the great thing about being behind the 8 ball like this is then after the break, we go into must-wins against Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, fellas. Appreciate you. I love the show. Appreciate you having me on. And hopefully we'll celebrate a win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Going to the break with a smile.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, Jason, appreciate you calling in. We'll talk to you soon, and appreciate it. Awesome. Tomorrow's a must-win, Kevin. Tomorrow is about as must-win as it gets. Let's call it like it is.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get into our probably final call-in. She knows who she is. Laura, how we feeling?
What's up, Laura?
Does the look on my face convey how I feel right now?
I think I have a pretty good idea.
What did I tell you a couple days ago, Zach? What did I tell you?
They gotta sweep, and they're not.
You see, I'm not wearing the shirt. I'm wearing a completely different shirt. Okay?
Yeah.
Because I honestly missed the show last night because I was partying in Miami. That's a whole other different story.
You know what? I love it.
But I commented on the video saying, if they win today, can I pull back out the shirt? No, I can't.
It's disappointing, Laura.
2 steps forward, 1 step back. Or how many did we win in a row? 5 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah.
And again, it wouldn't even be a bad step back if it was 3-2, 2-1, 6-5, 6-0.
Yeah, especially how it went early, until
Correct.
they pulled Rogers.
It was a beautiful game at that point. And I'm like, okay, can the bats wake up? Can we get 1 or 2 runs here to help out our man Trevor?
And that's what's frustrating.
That's why the O's are ... What are they?
They're trying. It's just, and Laura, that's what's frustrating. Let's be honest. If Trevor Rogers went out there pitched 5 innings, 3 earned runs, like just an average day, you're like, all right, whatever. They just lost, played poorly. Trevor Rogers did everything that he could do to win that ball game. He deserves
Correct.
everything. He left it all on the field, and honestly, he probably had some more, and they took it away from him.
Just terrible.
Poor, like Trevor now knows how Brian Wu feels.
Yeah.
To go out there and just hustle and pitch your ass off, only for the bullpen who completely blew it.
Yeah.
Yep. He lived up to the
come
name
in
there.
and blow it for you. And the part that it bothers me is that Trevor still got the loss.
Yep, that pisses me off.
And just
the one thing that really grinds my gears about it.
And just when you think that this team is starting to have some success, starting to get on a roll, starting to do everything else, how do you lose like this? Like, again, it would have been fine if it was a 1-0. Then at least you would have given Trevor Rogers some props for his effort. It's like, okay, I get it. 1-0. You give up that one, and that happens. But you still pitched your ass off, and we still could have been in that game. And we were still in this game.
They were. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I can't. My heart.
That's what's so disappointing is they were without a doubt in this game. They had every opportunity to win this game. I mean, I said 6-0 at the end. That's not how I view it. You should have been. It should have been a 1-run game, and at that point, it's on your offense. Blew it for. After that point, when they're down 2-0 going into the 9th, I was kind of like, this team has no. Once they got the second run, I was like, I don't know if we're scoring 2. I was just hoping that we could have somebody hit a solo shot and then they just find a way to magically win in extras. Once it went to 2, it was like, damn. I felt like everyone was kind of like, that's it.
That's it. Like, it's over. Just might as well just go ahead, give it up. Give it up. We're done. I understand the sentiment that the guys have, now that Brian Baker was traded, and the guys saying, well, we still like to, keep this team together, blah 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 blah. That would be fine if you all were playing better together, but you're not. I mean,
it's one of those things where they've been playing great ball. They're the 4th best team since May 24th. But you did not do that to start the year. So it's like you lost that luxury of saying, hey, we're playing really well. Let's go for it because of how poorly you started the year. If you would have started the year when they were 18 under, hell, if you would have just had a quote-unquote slow start and you were 5 games under at that point, then right now you're sitting at, what would that be, 7 games up? Or I guess you would be 5 games up. And now we're sitting there looking, it's completely different. Now you are like, hey, you can buy, but you didn't. You fell 18 games under. You weren't 5 games under. It wasn't a slow start. It was you fell off a cliff to start the year. You couldn't get out of the starting blocks.
Do we have any? I don't know. Maybe you've asked this. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Do we have anything to believe that this team is going to be like the Detroit Tigers were last year? Everybody keeps bringing this up, but I keep saying, what makes you think this team is like that team? What makes you think that? We don't have a Tariq Skubal.
Yeah. I think it's got to be the offense that steps up. Yeah, you don't have an ace.
But
I think it's got to be. It's got to be the offense. This team offensively,
the offense on paper is supposed to do these things.
Yeah,
we have not seen it though.
Yeah,
not on a consistent. I don't know.
No, exactly. It's one game they'll look like world beaters, and then the next they can't.
Too inconsistent still. It's too inconsistent still.
I'm honestly, I want to have your optimism, Zach, because I like how Zach is like good cop and Kevin's like bad cop. Because Kevin's always kind of like, that's not gonna happen, or that, and not like not like you don't love the team.
They can do it. They can do it, but
they could do it. But
I like to be grounded in reality.
Exactly, you're the realist, and Zach is the optimist.
And the
and
good thing about sports,
I haven't said playoffs. I just said they can get back in the hunt.
I'm saying
Playoffs.
sometimes
There-
sports
there's-
defy reality, and that's the good part about them. Where like a team can look dead in the water, terrible, awful, and your reality is like, man, where's this season's going nowhere. And then they start playing like they have, and it defies reality. So sometimes reality doesn't always work out, and that's a good thing sometimes and a bad thing other times. But I know.
Okay.
Yeah, we calling Zach an optimist or positive after his just Austin Slater hate train for not even on the
Me and
team.
Optimus, I just hosted a Brian Baker hate watch
Yeah.
12 hours after he was on the team.
Trust me, I tried, but being in Tampa, I can't get those games on MLB TV. So, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm going to put on my optimist hat for a series win tomorrow. We'll do that.
There we go.
Hopefully.
And then, but after maybe this break is what they need to, catch up, regroup, et cetera. Maybe we do go on a tear after that. It would be lovely to see. That's all I got.
It's just
I'm going to go drown my sorrows in my pint of Haagen-Dazs.
You know what? Well, there are a lot worse things to do, Laura. There are a lot worse things to do, but hopefully we talk tomorrow after a win. Hopefully we can have a little bit more fun at least talking tomorrow, and at least talk after a win.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just yes. So this is it. I'm gonna put the good vibes out there. We're gonna have a win tomorrow. We're gonna at least have a series win. We're gonna go into the All-Star game on those high vibes because we will have won. What 6 out of 7 at that point? 7 out of 8.
No, if they win tomorrow, they'll win 8 of their last or 7 of their last 9.
7 of their last 9. Okay, that's a good vibe. I'm going with that good vibe.
Yeah, if they can win tomorrow, 7 of their last 9 going into the break, I'm feeling better. Then we can, good. and then we can start because then you got Tampa coming out of the break, and you gotta take care of business.
Correct, and Tampa's tough, so let's go.
So
let's go.
Know how feisty they are, but Laura, appreciate you as always.
Appreciate you, Laura.
Always a pleasure, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.
Always.
Yep. Talk soon.
Appreciate you. Yeah, Kevin, it's disappointing. Like, let's call it what it is. It's so disappointing.
That was, can we stop having worse losses of the season? It just feels like we've had too many. This is the worst loss of the season moments this year.
Kevin, you're telling me it's been just frustrating. It's a weekly occurrence. They on a weekly basis have the worst loss of the season, and it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. So, Kevin, anything else?
Nah, man, just take the series tomorrow. Go into the All-Star break with momentum. 7 games under feels a lot better than 9 games under. So hopefully they can get the job done.
Hopefully they can just get the job done. We'll be back tomorrow after the Orioles play their final game of the first half of the season. Try to get 7 games under 500, maybe make something happen. But till then, you guys all have a fantastic Saturday night. And we will be back tomorrow for another edition of Kevin and Zach React. Scott Feldman.
Oh, good one. I'm going to go forgotten Oriole Ryan Mountcastle. Feels like people forget he's still in the team.